Commander Vex Prime adjusted his optical sensors for the third time in 10 standard minutes. The readings had to be wrong. Absolutely, positively, monumentally wrong. Scan again, he ordered his subordinate, Lieutenant Kill 7, who was currently vibrating with what could only be described as bureaucratic anxiety. Sir, the scans are accurate. The human vessel is requesting docking permission at Bay 12. Vex Prime's secondary brain processed this information while his primary brain screamed internally. Bay 12. The same bay where they'd been storing the remains of the Night Beast for the past cycle. The same Night Beast that had terrorized 17 different star systems, consumed entire battle fleets, and made hardened warriors wet themselves at the mere mention of its name. The same Night Beast that, according to their sensors, was now apparently dead. Very, very dead. Sir? Kill 7's voice cracked like a pubescent Zenthorian. Should we grant permission? Vex Prime stared at the tactical display. One small human ship. Single occupant. No weapons signatures that their scanners could detect. Which, knowing humans, probably meant it was armed to the teeth with something their technology couldn't recognize. Grant permission, he said, surprising himself. But keep all defense systems online. And someone wake up the medical team. We might need them. For the human, sir? No, you fool. For us. 20 minutes later, Vex Prime stood in the docking bay, flanked by his best security detail. Which, admittedly, wasn't saying much since half of them were currently questioning their life choices and the other half were openly praying to various deities. The airlock hissed open with theatrical timing that would have made a Hollywood director weep with joy. What stepped out was not what anyone expected. The human was small. Female, by their records. Wearing what appeared to be standard expedition gear that had seen better days, better weeks, and quite possibly better geological eras. Her brown hair was tied back in a practical knot, and her green eyes held the kind of calm confidence that made seasoned warriors nervous, but it was her necklace that made everyone take a collective step backward. Hanging around her neck, arranged with disturbing artistic flair, were teeth. Massive, curved, razor-sharp teeth that every being in the bay recognized immediately. Night Beast teeth. 12 of them, each the size of a combat knife, gleaming with an oily black sheen that seemed to absorb light itself. The human looked around the bay with the casual interest of someone admiring local architecture. Well, she said, her voice carrying that particular human accent they'd learned meant trouble, this is cozy. Very metallic. I like what you've done with the place. Vex Prime found his voice somewhere between his third and fourth stomach. You are the human who sent the transmission? That would be me. She extended a hand in the bizarre human greeting ritual. Maya Santos. Freelance problem solver, part-time explorer, full-time survivor of things that supposedly can't be survived. Nobody moved to shake her hand. She shrugged and let it drop. Right then. I believe you folks have been having some trouble with what you call the Night Beast? Big, scary, lots of teeth, tendency to eat entire fleets for breakfast? Had, Kill 7 squeaked. Had trouble. Past tense. It's dead. Maya nodded thoughtfully. Yes, I noticed. Funny story about that. She reached into her pack, and every weapon in the bay swiveled toward her. She paused, eyebrow raised. Easy there, trigger fingers. I'm just getting my proof of work. What she pulled out made the Night Beast's teeth look like friendly jewelry. It was a data pad. Standard human technology. Completely, utterly mundane, except for the fact that it was covered in the same oily black residue as her necklace, and small chunks of what looked suspiciously like Night Beast hide were still stuck to its corners. Now, Maya continued, apparently oblivious to the fact that half the security detail had fainted. I know what you're all thinking. How did one small human manage to kill something that's been terrorizing the galaxy for the better part of a decade? The answer is quite simple, really. She tapped the data pad, bringing up a holographic display that made everyone lean forward despite their better judgment. You see, the night beast wasn't actually that hard to kill. You just had to know where to find it, how to track it, and most importantly. She paused for dramatic effect, clearly enjoying herself. You had to be stupid enough to try. The hologram showed a star map, tracking patterns, behavioral analysis, and what appeared to be a shopping list that included items like high-grade explosives, really good coffee, and backup pants. Turns out, Maya continued, the beast had a very predictable hunting pattern. It would feed, sleep, feed again, then retreat to a specific type of asteroid field to digest. All I had to do was wait for it to take a nap, sneak up on it with enough ordnance to level a small moon, and, she made an explosive gesture with her hands. Boom. Problem solved. And I got some lovely trophies out of the deal. She fingered the teeth around her neck with obvious pride. Vex Prime's world was spinning. This casual, almost bored human had single-handedly eliminated the greatest threat their civilization had ever known. And she was treating it like she'd fixed a broken waste disposal unit. But the risk, he stammered. The danger. The calculations showed a 99.7% chance of death for anyone who, that. Maya waved dismissively. I never was very good at math. And that, Vex Prime realized with growing horror, was perhaps the most terrifying thing she'd said yet, because if humans were capable of this level of casual disregard for mathematical certainty, what else might they be capable of? The answer to that question was about to arrive sooner than anyone expected. The answer came in the form of alarms. Lots of them. The kind that suggested either imminent death or someone had accidentally pressed the wrong button. Again. Sir. Communications Officer Tick-9 burst into the docking bay, his purple skin flushed a concerning shade of violet. We're receiving distress signals from the Helix Nebula. Multiple ships under attack by. Spit it out, Tick-9, Vex Prime snapped, though his attention was still focused on the terrifyingly calm human who was now examining her fingernails with academic interest. By more night beasts, sir. At least 7 of them. The silence that followed could have been bottled and sold as a weapon of mass destruction. Maya looked up from her nails. Oh. That's awkward. Awkward? Vex Prime's voice hit frequencies that shouldn't have been possible for his species. You said you killed the night beast. I did kill a night beast, Maya corrected, holding up one finger in a gesture that somehow managed to be both helpful and absolutely infuriating. I never said I killed all of them. That would be presumptuous. Kill 7 made a noise that sounded like a dying atmospheric processor. There are more of them? Well, obviously, Maya replied, as if explaining basic mathematics to a particularly slow child. Did you really think a species that's successful was down to just one individual? That would be terrible evolutionary strategy. She pulled out what appeared to be a sandwich from her pack and took a bite. Where she'd been storing food in a pack that had previously contained explosives and data pads was a mystery nobody wanted to solve. The good news, she continued between bites, is that I've been tracking the pack for months. The bad news is that killing their alpha just made the rest of them very, very angry. Pack? Vex Prime was now operating at volumes that were causing structural damage to nearby bulkheads. Oh yes. Night beasts are social hunters. Fascinating creatures, really. They have this lovely pack mentality where if you kill the leader, the rest go absolutely berserk and hunt down whoever was responsible. She paused thoughtfully. Which, in this case, would be me. The docking bay fell silent except for the continued wailing of alarms and what sounded suspiciously like someone quietly sobbing. So, Lieutenant Kill 7 said in the tone of someone whose worldview had just been fed through a matter disintegrator, they're coming here. For you. Most likely, yes. Maya finished her sandwich and dusted off her hands. Probably be here within the hour, if my calculations are correct. Which they usually are, despite what I said about math earlier. I'm actually quite good at the practical applications. And you're telling us this now because? Vex Prime asked, though he was fairly certain he didn't want to know the answer. Maya's smile was the sort that made experienced negotiators reach for their life insurance policies. Because I need your help. The laughter that erupted from the security detail had a distinctly hysterical edge to it. Our help? Tick 9 squeaked. You want our help? We couldn't handle one night beast. There are 7 of them. 7. Actually, Maya said, pulling out her data pad again, it's probably 8 by now. They breed quickly when stressed. More sobbing. Definitely more sobbing. But here's the thing, she continued, apparently immune to the emotional breakdown occurring around her. I've been studying their behavior patterns, their hunting strategies, their pack dynamics. And I've developed what I like to call a comprehensive solution to the night beast problem. She tapped the data pad, and a new holographic display appeared. This one showed what looked like engineering schematics mixed with tactical formations and what appeared to be a recipe for explosive devices. Step 1. We use your station as bait. They'll come here looking for me, expecting to find a terrified human hiding behind superior alien technology. Aren't you? Kill 7 asked hopefully. Not particularly, no. Step 2. We evacuate all non-essential personnel to the far side of the station. Step 3. We set up a series of traps using your mining equipment, some of my remaining explosives, and what I like to call creative engineering. Vex Prime stared at the schematics. They were insane. Completely, utterly, magnificently insane. This plan, he said slowly, has approximately a 3% chance of success. That's generous, Maya agreed cheerfully. I was calculating closer to 2%. And if it fails? Then we all die horribly, your station gets destroyed, and the Night Beast pack moves on to terrorize the rest of the galaxy until someone else gets lucky or stupid enough to try again. The brutal honesty was somehow more comforting than false optimism would have been. However, Maya continued, if it works, we eliminate the entire pack, save countless lives, and I get enough trophy teeth to make matching earrings. She touched her necklace affectionately. The choice, as they say, is yours. Though I should mention that the first night beast just entered your outer sensor range. So you've got about 30 minutes to decide. Vex Prime looked around the bay at his crew. They were terrified, outclassed, and facing impossible odds against creatures that had haunted their nightmares for years. In other words, it was just another day in the galaxy. Tick 9, he said, his voice surprisingly steady, start the evacuation. Kill 7, get me our best engineers and every explosive device we have in storage. Sir? Kill 7's voice was barely a whisper. If we're going to die, Vex Prime said, watching Maya Santos check her weapons with the casual efficiency of someone who made the impossible look routine, we might as well die doing something spectacularly stupid. Maya's grin was absolutely terrifying in its confidence. Now you're talking my language. And somewhere in the depths of space, 8 very angry night beasts were about to learn why humans had a reputation for being the galaxy's most dangerous problem solvers, the hard way.